Hey, y'all know what time it is? I do. And it's that Kathy, howdy, y'all. I'm sure you can see. Howdy, y'all. I love it when they're in fast enough that I don't have to listen to that song, but that's okay. That's okay. Nobody needs to worry about listening to that song. If you don't want to hear it, jump in, say something, and away we'll go. At least I hope away we'll go. Hey, no big deal, but the app canceled the stream twice on me before it would actually let it go live. Talk about interesting. Can't get anything to work right today. Well, I can't. Holly sent me to PetSmart to go get cat food. With 4 cats, you got to keep the cat food rolling in every once in a while. I sure hope these cats like fish, because that's about all I could get. Everything that they had was seafood. So I got them what I could. Then I go over to Petco. Won't do that again. Oh, hell no. Petco is expensive, and they decided to not have anything my cats will eat. Awesome. Howdy, Cedric. Howdy, Smoking Kentucky. How's it going? Hopefully everything is well where y'all are at. I know that a lot of y'all might have been under some storms last night. In case y'all were watching Nashville Mafia, that the stream that died just before bowl call. So we hang out and did bowl call anyways. Be Numb Joe, howdy sir. Great to see you. Yes, I have a Tractor Supply. Why do you ask? Hell, I've got 5 or 6 Tractor Supplies here in the local area. And let's see, some Grangers and oh look, Spam Risk from Pennsylvania. I think I'll decline. Let's see, what's Northern Tool and Harbor Freight. Yes, I could get the cat food at Tractor Supply, but the wet food that the cats like is quite a bit more expensive there. Howdy, Todd. Great to see you, sir. And yes, I have gotten like the bag food. Sure, not a problem. That's sometimes the only place I can go, but it's quite a bit farther than any of the Walmarts. I can get the same bag at Walmart for a bit cheaper than I can get it at Tractor Supply. And I've got 3 Walmarts that are closer than the nearest Tractor Supply. But I do know right where the Tractor Supply is. Just saying. It's the canned wet food stuff that 3.5 of my cats really enjoy the canned wet food stuff. Trump is all about the crunchy stuff. He doesn't care as long as it crunches. But he kind of likes some of the gravy type stuff. He likes the sauce, and he'll lick that up, and then he'll eat the crunchy stuff. We used to be able to keep one little bowl of kibble down for 2 cats. And then Trump came in, and we had to keep 2 bowls of kibble down. And he eats 3/4 of both of those bowls. They're small, don't get me wrong. It's not like some big salad bowl or cereal bowl. It's small. But Trump is definitely, well, we also call him the Cookie Monster, because if you ever need him to show up, all you got to do is shake the cookie box. Cat cookies. He loves those damn things. You can get him to do anything for cat cookies. I taught him how to sit and go paw, paw, paw on top of my hand for cookies. Howdy, Patrick. Great to see you, sir. By the way, today I'm going to be enjoying a Punch Diablo. The size of this is the Diabolus. It is a 5.25 inch by 54 ring gauge. And it looks like I'm going to have to kill a spider before he decides to make a meal out of me. He's kind of licking his jaws, going like, look at that fat boy. I bet you I could suck a lot of juice out of that sucker. That's what spiders do. They bite you, they cocoon you up, and then they drink your insides. Don't blame me for knowing this. So anyways, yes, I am enjoying a fantastic cigar, but it is going to be strong. I already know this. In case y'all are wanting to see what that looks like again, here we go. There's that band, Punch. And you can see right down here is where it says Diablo. So this is just a little bit fatter and a little bit longer than what would be a typical Robusto. Not that bad. This is the one that I like to tell people is the moonshine of cigars, because it's considerably strong. It's the kind of thing where I tell people, have yourself a glass, about 2 to 3 fingers of some bourbon and this cigar, and when you're done smoking, don't stand up, just sit there and enjoy the day. Uh-oh. All right. Got himself a humidor so he can pick up an assortment of cigars. Well, Smoking KY, you just let me know what you're thinking about smoking, and we'll see what we can do about getting you turned on to some good cigars in that range. Before you start dropping cigars in a brand new humidor, though, you need to season it. If it is not seasoned, all you're going to do is dry out your cigars. If you already know how, just say so. If you don't know how, also say so, and I'll let you know exactly the easiest way to do it. Howdy, Derek. Great to see you, sir. So I'm going to get this lit and see what we can do. Now, I'm going to let y'all know. Normally, I tailgate for everybody, or as much as I can. This coming Friday, I am not tailgating. I'm the big dog come tomorrow. My show is going to be the most entertaining one on the internet.
Oh, because you're doing that stupid chocolate thing.
Because I will be eating a chocolate bar. My head's going to turn red like this damn bottle of stuff. I'm going to be having a hard time with it. And I want y'all to sit there and hang out and laugh at me all you want to. Okay. The shot glass of distilled water, at least you're using distilled. I'm going to tell you the easiest way to do this. You want to go get... Okay, how many cigars how many cigars did it say it will hold? 10, 20, 50, 180... That actually matters. But once I know how many it'll hold, I can tell you where to start from there. It'll hold 100. Okay, you need to get 5 Boveda packs. At the highest percentage of humidity that you can get. Now, they make these specifically for seasoning a humidor. I believe they are 84%. You take those 5. You want 5 of them. Okay. Each one covers 20. You're going to be seasoning a large humidor, so you want to put in enough that the wood will absorb all this moisture, and that's what seasoning a humidor is actually doing. You take the 5 packs, take them out of the cellophane, put them in the humidor, just loose. Close the lid. If you want it to be the best possible that you can do, take some of that blue painter's tape and seal where it opens. That will keep the moisture inside exactly where you want it to be. You seal it. 2 weeks later, you open it, you throw those Boveda packs out, and you load it up full of cigars. And remember, you want 1 Boveda pack. That's the big ones, not the little bitty ones that only cover like 5. You want 1 of the big Boveda packs for every 20 cigars. So really, you're going to try and fill up your humidor to about 85 sticks, so that you have enough room that you can shuffle them around. You have enough room that you can add some as you get them, and you have enough room that you have your Boveda packs in there without tightly cramming them all in there. There are a lot of other ways to do seasoning of a humidor, but this that I've just told you is the absolute 100% easiest way that you can do it. You can wipe distilled water on the entire cedar, but I would suggest if you're going to do that, you use a microfiber cloth and not a sponge. Sponges will actually tear off little pieces, and that will leave spots that can mold. And I've seen that happen. And if you get a bad mold case on the inside of your humidor, you pick the whole thing up, you put it in the trash can, and you go restart your life. Sticks and all. And that's the reason I never suggest using a sponge. Oh yeah, most of the humidifier strips, pads, gels, whatever that come with humidors completely suck. Most of. But I have seen some recently that are coming from J.C. Newman. They are Diamond Crown branded and stuff like that, that are actually coming with a full set ready to go. All you have to do is tear it open. It comes with it seasoning pack. It's great. I think it's awesome. They send you a pack to help season your whole humidor. Why other companies are not doing this yet, I don't know. But as soon as it catches on, everybody's going to be doing it. The only humidor I've ever seen that you don't have to season comes from Boveda. It is a clear acrylic, and because it's acrylic, it doesn't breathe moisture in or out. So you open up some Boveda packs, you put them in there, and you're ready to go. If you like a little bit of cedar, when you buy boxes of cigars, sometimes there will be some cedar sheets. You can put those in there to divide up your cigars in any way, shape, or form that you like. And that's not actually a bad thing to have. The other thing to do with those, and I love this trick, take those cedar sheets that you get in a box of cigars, fold them, break them into, pinky thickness, full length. Take your Zippo or your matches or your torch lighter and light that cedar piece. You now have the perfect thing to light a cigar, unless it's windy. You'll thank me for it later at some point. A lot of people just take those sheets and throw them out. When I was working inside of a cigar shop, every time we restocked the shelves, any box that came with those cedar sheets, we had stacks of them. And we would just break them up and put them in a pint-sized glass right there on the desk. People who knew would come in, grab a couple, light it up, and when you're done, you just put it out in your ashtray, or you blow it out and set it in your ashtray or on a metal table or wherever you feel like. But yeah, probably the absolute best way to light a cigar is those little cedar sheets. Just break them up into pinky thickness. And I'm if you've got really, really slender fingers, you could go with an index finger, but pinky is about all you'll really need. My hands are not huge. I mean, palm-wise, they're pretty big, and I've got these long fingers that allows me to look like I could almost play the piano, except for I have no ability. But something about the thickness of a pinky, you're good. And if you consider that the pinky is a little bit skinnier than the cigar, so if you want to look at it, Lancero-sized pieces of cedar. It's phenomenal. And you will not have any fuel taste. You will just have some cedar notes in the air. And cedar burns very clean in comparison to most woods. It also burns very hot, which is what you want when you're lighting a cigar. You want a hot flame. And, hey, what do you know? I know that it works. So Smoking KY, I'm hoping I helped you with my advice on how to get your humidor fully seasoned before you put anything in there. And trust me on this, if you do not season it before you put cigars in there, you're going to put cigars in there. And the next day you're going to go to reach for one, and when you cut it, it's going to crack. When you light it, it's going to act like it's going to explode, and it'll burn super hot and super fast because all the humidity that was in your cigar will be absorbed into the wood, and all you will be left with is a dry, lifeless piece of crap for a cigar, which is oh so nice if you put a couple of $20 cigars in there and they're suddenly worth not 50 cents. Did not happen to me. Almost happened to me. I don't want it to happen to y'all. I don't want it to happen to anybody, really. There's nobody I hate bad enough to ever have something like that happen to them. I mean, I hate to say this, but quite literally, if Adolf Hitler had showed up and asked me about cigars, I would at least tell him straight. I might hate the person personally, but I don't hate the cigars, so my integrity intact. I'm gonna say it like it should be. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. If you need to go, go. Don't worry. And if at any point in time you ever need to ask me about cigars for whatever reason, and you're trying to figure it out, that email, hopefully y'all can read that. Hit me up. Email me. But if it's the first time you're emailing me, just kind of let me know, hey, this is... Because if I don't know who you are, how do I know who I'm talking to? And there's some people I'm not talking to them about cigars. Because some people would love to get me in that situation where I've said something bad about somebody else's cigar. Or pipes, or pipe tobaccos, or whatever. And you know what? So for the trolls out there, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to talk to y'all about cigars, or pipes, or pipe tobaccos, or lighters, or anything. But for people who are actually interested in cigars, if y'all need to know anything, if you have any concerns whatsoever, shoot me an email. You don't have to do it over a live. If you want to do it over a live, even better. Because here's the other thing on that. I'm telling one person, but somebody else is going to hear it, and they're going to be like, hey, I remember that guy said don't do this. Let me go figure out why not. Or that guy said this is the way to do it. That's the easiest way to do it. Not everybody is comfortable asking questions. I have no problems with questions. I mean, I did it, I mean, not really for a living, but I did it. Cigars, I did it. I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I don't want to discuss the ugly. That would be mold and cigar beetles. You don't want to discuss you don't want to discuss either one of those. But if you're worried about either, talk to me. Oh, and if you're buying cigars from an unreputable location, take your cigars, put them in a good, thick, freezer-style Ziploc bag. You don't want to use just the regular storage. You want the freezer type. Freeze them for 2 weeks. That will normally kill any cigar beetle. And yeah, I've seen cigar beetles. And no, you don't want to have them. Little bitty bugs, they'll chew holes all off in your damn cigars. You can technically smoke them because they won't be alive after the first 20 seconds of smoke. Of course, they've taken a crap inside of your cigar and they've left little holes all over the place, so it's not going to have a good draw. They're very similar to what's known as a cabinet beetle. And cabinet beetles or pantry beetles will eat holes in all of your paper boxes. They're looking for normally like wheat type products. So you see a bunch of little holes in your cardboard boxes in your pantry, especially like in your spaghetti or your macaroni and cheese type stuff. Yeah, well, those are very similar to cigar beetles, and you get an infestation inside your humidor, and well, you got to kill them, so you'd have to poison your humidor. Do you really want to stick something in your mouth that you just dropped poison all over? Yeah, that's the ugly. Oh, and don't confuse plume with mold. Plume is a good thing. Mold will make you sick. You finally got him off the phone. Cool. Not a problem. So, Smoking KY, is there any other questions on your humidor? I like cigar questions. It's a subject that I actually know enough about that I can talk for hours and hours about it. And I don't feel like I have to go look at a book or look up the answer. I know these answers. Huva Ilta Boris, great to see you, sir. Holly's right over here on the other side of the chair. She's smiling because I taught her how to say Huva Ilta. And
Did you tell him that I had an old Finnish coworker recommend me for a job?
yes, I did. Yes, I did. Now I just have to teach her how to spell Huva Ilta. That's a whole different ball game. I don't know how to get the little 2 dots above both the A's. Because I figure if she gets this job, which according to a phone call she just had, she pretty damn close to having a job. More money, possibly worse hours.
Yeah.
So the I I am not going to even try to pronounce that word because I never seem to get it right. The hydrometer, with some extra syllables and consonants and vowels put in there, what tells you what the humidity is inside of the humidor. You would do just as good to get a digital one if you're going to trust the one that came with it. You get the digital one, you set it up. When it reads that you are at the desired humidity level inside your humidor, for me that would be 76 to 79, and 79 is way too high actually. 69 to 76 tops. 76 tops. But 69% humidity is right where I like mine personally. And the shop that I worked at, we kept our full-size walk-in humidor at 70%. So that's part of the reason why I like that. Great to see you, Sharon. How are you doing today? Wait, is Paul there too? I didn't see Paul. Did I miss Paul? Wait, no, I didn't miss Paul because Paul hasn't said hello yet. At least I didn't see him. Did he say hello? I didn't see him. Nope, still, nope. Went back, nope. Didn't see him. Well, we're happy to have Sharon here, whether Paul's here or not. So, going back to the digital hydrogen meter, or you know what it is, you know how to say it, you know what it looks like. You get the digital, you put it in there, you get it so that it says this is what your humidor is at. And then you take a Sharpie and you mark your analog one with this is the range that you want it to be in. That way, if the needle is inside that range, you're good. If it's below that range, you know you need to add more Boveda packs. If it's higher than that range, you know to take a Boveda pack out until it is a little bit lower into that range. What I like about Boveda packs are you can put as many of them in there and it's just going to stay at the same humidity. If you have too many, it's going to stay at the right humidity. If you have too few, it will drop below what you want to eventually. And that's why I like Boveda packs, because they will pull in the humidity if it's too high, and they will breathe it out if it's too low. And you really don't have to do much with them. And I will at some point here in the near future show you how to rehydrate Boveda packs. Howdy, Jeff. Great to see you, sir. Glad to see you're here also, because that means you didn't get in any kind of bad trouble on that loading dock. Loading docks are a very dangerous place. There's lots of pinch points, places where you can slip, trip, and fall, uneven surfaces that are normally even. I've seen a lot of accidents on loading docks. I'm hoping like crazy that that doesn't happen. So if you're like Jeff, who was just saying that he was unloading a pallet, tends to be you happen to work somewhere around a loading dock, and that means, hey, it's a good time to be careful. Also, here in the United States, most loading docks are up at about 4.5 feet, maybe 5 feet. And if you fall off of one into the truck bay, you might lay there a little while before anybody even sees you. Not to mention, it can really hurt. Yes, sir. That's right, Kentucky. If you do not have the right storage, cigars can go from perfect to completely crap in a few hours if you're really unlucky. Places like El Paso and places in Arizona, Nevada, places that have really low natural humidity, they'll destroy a cigar in hours. Houston, not so much. I could probably get away with not having to worry about it at all, but I still work with the Boveda packs. Howdy, Robert. Great to see you, sir. And hey, guess what? Robert's here for his own tailgate. That is very true, Patrick. And I would suggest if you're going to be storing in a Ziploc bag, make sure it's a freezer bag. You want that extra thickness of plastic because that's gonna take the humidity and keep it inside the bag instead of just letting it float through one way or the other. Storage bags will work for a day. Freezer bags will work for a month. Just saying. Well, Robert, I'm hoping you brought beer. I've been out to the Carolinas. I've had some beer in the Carolinas. I drank at a couple of different flying saucers out there in the Carolinas, so I know I had Carolina beer. Well, Patrick, what's a bowl call? So let's do a bowl call. For those of y'all who didn't see it earlier, I am smoking the Punch Diablo. The size on this one is the Diabolus. Strong, but very tasty. Ooh, Jeff's got some Arrowhead to smoke. And Patrick's chooching on some GL Peace Odyssey in his Peterson Shannon Bent Brandy. Uh-oh. Robert's going big guns tonight. Esoterica Tilbury in a Castello 16. I am not sure that shape is on my list, but that maker is definitely on my list, Robert. I gotta have that kind of money before I pull that kind of a trigger, but when I do get that money, it will happen. Howdy, Mark. Great to see you, sir. Mark, Holly didn't do anything about keeping you out of any live feeds, I promise. Oh, wait, that's Holy. Got a funny story about that. Oh, packed a bowl of autumn evening for Beanome Joe. Got the pancakes ready. Boris had some marlin flake, very nice. Ooh, Derek's got the Partagas Legend Fabuloso. And I've never been able to say that last word there. So I'm going to stay away from that one. Having hacker issues. Well, that's not good, Mark. That's not good at all. I don't have very many hacker issues. Mostly because there ain't nothing to hack. Besides that, who would want to be me? The best part about me is y'all. Okay, that's a good reason to be me. Hanging out with y'all on a fairly regular basis. That's awesome. And yes, I am a little bit worried because in less than 24 hours, I'm going to be in some serious pain. 9 million Scovilles of pain. That will be at 4 o'clock Central Time. I'm not sure where your time zones are, but 4 o'clock Central Time is... Well, the show will start at 3 like normal. Just as if I was tailgating for real. I might take just a small break to get a cup of coffee. That's a cheat, and I'll tell you why. But the rules don't say I can't have coffee after, just that I can't do it during. And I'm probably not going to sit out here with a small chub of milk so that I can try to do something else. Howdy, Everett. Great to see you, sir. Everett. There it is, brother. That cigar right there. The Punch Diablo. That's what I'm smoking, and that's got some Everett Young strength to it. I prepared for it. I knew it was coming. I made sure to get a sugary drink. But yes, Everett, if you're looking at thinking, hey, you know what, I'm thinking having a cigar would be good, this is going to have enough strength that you're going to be like, okay, I'm good. You're not just going to be going, oh yeah, well, I need a bowl of Rustica now. Smoking Kentucky, this is strength as in Nick hit. It's really flavorful. So it's a good level of flavor, but it doesn't taste like it's all kind of fired up strong tobacco. When you finish it though and you go to stand up, most people kind of sit back down and go, oh wait, hold up. Spinning a little bit. I would expect Everett would just be like, yeah, it's okay, but I'll be ready for another one here in a minute. Of course, but let's be realistic. Everett likes good, strong tobacco. I think he can handle the punch without having a problem. Robert, I've never gotten tongue bite from a cigar. I was going to say ever, but that would be untrue. I've had tongue bite a few times from pipes, but not from a cigar. Patrick, it's easily as strong as the double Heroes from LFD. I have had stronger cigars than this, but there's not a large list of cigars that are going to be stronger than this. Everett, I am not sure where you can buy one in Canada, but I do know that if you go to Cigar International or JR Cigars, that they will have them. Oh yeah, Derek. I mean, it's not like this thing's going to drop you off of a 10-story building just to watch you bounce, but it tends to be that about the same time you finish it and you get up and go to walking or something, you kind of start thinking that might not have been such a great idea. Howdy, Jim. Great to see you, sir. Oh, Robert got some SG Black Double X. Very nice. So, Jim, letting you know, not that you're a Navy guy, but because you have been military before, former military, I know, retired from the Air Force, James is talking about doing these with Air Force logos as well. That's that cigar holder that he's made. This one, of course, is Navy. So, I know, not really your thing. But, we did discuss you as we were discussing that as a possibility if he was going to make some Air Force ones. Served with the Navy. That's because you were in one of those joint operations bases out there in the middle of nowhere that nobody wants to talk about. I'm sure of it. Ah, the Joya de Nicaragua. Yes, some of those can be quite effective at giving you a nick hit. But quite honestly, that might just be the blend was just right to get you. I've had some cigars that didn't affect me at all, and the next guy over was puking on the floor. And then I've had some cigars that I was running to the bathroom to go puke in the toilet while everybody else was like, man, this is good. Sometimes cigars will just do that. Let's see, Jim, how did I know? Oh, that's right, because I've heard you say where all you used to do some various things. I think it was on a certain Zoom meeting that we had. Loved hanging out with y'all. Being able to put faces to the names. It was quite interesting. Oh, this cigar is going to tar up a little bit on me. That's okay. So I picked up a leaf to take care of it. 14 had had your first chew, Robert. Damn. And yeah, that kind of nicotine sickness will definitely throw you under a bus and back it up a few times. Oh, that's nice. Jim, that's awesome that you've got a lot of it declassified. Always scary. What can you talk about? What can't you talk about? That's an interesting thing. And if you're not directly connected with the military anymore, you sometimes have to go back and ask somebody that might be able to tell you. And some things they just tell you, just don't say nothing about it ever. Just, you were never here. This never happened. Those are the most fun ones, right? Welcome back, Steve and Miss Kathy. Great to see you again. Well, Derek, they would have to kill me. They'd have to find me right here where they know exactly where I'm at to do it. So those things that were just that way, I don't talk about it. True, Patrick, sometimes the bus just sits there and idles. We'll get him with the carbon monoxide if nothing else. Good one, Robert. Jehovah's Witnesses. I remember way back in time, some Jehovah's Witnesses came to my door on one of my days off, and I had just finished mowing the lawn, took a shower, heard someone knocking on the door, and I'm like, all right, well, whatever. So I went and opened the door, just kind of stuck my head out. Hey, we're the Jehovah's Witnesses. I'm not really interested. Hey, if we could just talk to you for a little bit, this, that, blah, 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 blah. And so I swung the door open. There I am, butt naked. Well, come on in. You're all kind of cute. Maybe we can get something going. They turned and left. Never came back. It wasn't like I was in public. I was trying to let them know, just leave me alone. What I did worked. Just saying. Though Jim's kind of cute, maybe they would want to hang out. And well, if they knew Steve and Kathy are both there, they might still insist on coming in. Put your bucking spurs on, Steve. That'll get them out. Hey, if they're still telling the story of that day, then my job is done. mean, I didn't want to be rude. Just wanted him to go away. Pretty much, Robert. Oh, yeah. Well, Jim, I mean, come on. You're still like in good physical condition and all that. I mean, Jehovah's Witnesses look at you, they might accept that kind of an offer. Me, I look like 20 miles of rough road. There's just no way I can describe it. It's not like I'm a pretty man. I know this. I'm not worried about it. I mean, use the tools you got. Luckily, I've got one hell of a tool. Awesome, Patrick. And yes, Kentucky, that's pretty much what it was. Of course, I had what I like to call a lumberjack haircut. That is a 2 around the sides and a 4 across the top, and tell them to shape it up so that it doesn't look stupid. It's pretty close to a full-on military cut. Or a really shaggy high and tight, basically. So they couldn't tell if I was soggy or not, but this is in my house, by myself. I heard a knocking on the door. I went to go investigate. Why worry about toweling off? There's nobody there. Maybe I should have wore a towel. Howdy, Jose Golf Piper. Great to see you, sir. Well, let's see. How would Jim be able to make it so that they wouldn't want to come on in? I know. He'd grab his Miller High Life and a pack of Camels. Be like, hey, you got a light? That might work. I'm just saying what worked for me. So there's this time, one time, way back in the day, Holly and I went to a Christmas party that where she worked was having a Christmas party. No big deal. We were seated with a guy who previously had gone through a divorce. And he was telling us some stories, each one funnier than the next. The one he told me that stuck with me and sticks with me to my dying day, I'm sure. It got to that last Christmas, as the divorce was in full swing. And for a Christmas present for his soon-to-be ex-wife, he got her a dildo and some flip-flops. Put it in a box. When she unwrapped it, She was like, "What the hell is this?" And he said, "Well, it's flip-flops."
Because she wanted flip-flops.
Oh, because she wanted flip-flops.
She wanted flip-flops.
And if you don't like the flip-flops, what else is in there is so you can go fuck yourself. He said it just like that, and I about spit food all over the table. It was awesome. Oh, very nice, Boris. Very nice. That's the way to do it. Yeah, Paul probably could answer the door in the thong. And his gun boots. Bright yellow. Because he's always saying that he's going to answer them in his bright yellow gun boots. Don't get on to me. I'm not the one that talks about his bright yellow gun boots. He tells us all the time. I'm just afraid one day he'll show up here and be in his thongs and gun boots, and I'll show up at the door butt naked, and we'll just have to hug. Note to anybody who's asking, I'm not showing up at this door butt naked. I do not believe that my wife would be appreciative of me being downstairs butt naked where my mother-in-law might be able to see me. Yeah, Jim, that's pretty much about the only acceptable answer to that statement. Good Lord! Jim, I know you would dare me, and I'm not taking that dare. One, I'm outside. That would be indecent exposure. Two, there are children at various different times of the day. I can't guarantee they wouldn't see. That would get me thrown in jail. I'm not doing jail. Not if I can avoid it. And Patrick, you're very welcome for that picture you didn't need to see. Howdy, Mike. Great to see you, sir. The original Thursday, though I do try to catch you when you're on Sundays, as you've been known to do a few times recently. Boris, I would suggest a very large bottle of something that's 100 proof or better. And then maybe you can just say, man, maybe that was just the alcohol dream. Oh, Steve, that's rough. Damn. Steve says that's almost as good as when I caught first wife in bed with another guy. Put $2 on the table and told him when he was done he could use it to go get a good piece. Holly's face was just like, well, I have a very vivid imagination today. And Jim is headed for the bottle now. Anything to drown that memory out. Ugh. It would be about like the movie Chips. There was a scene in the movie Chips with I forget the actors' names, but it's the one that came out not too terribly long ago. And two of the actors were in the locker room, basically in tighty whities, and they decided to. It was awkward. I can't call that a bro hug. That's the one scene in that movie I don't really want to have to see ever again, but I mean, it was there. It won't go away. Ugh. Oh, so for anybody who is concerned about shoveling snow, y'all remember Houston does not get snow. Or at least not very often. I know Mike has been known to worry about it. I'm fairly certain Everett has dealt with snow. We can't forget Boris knows more about snow than... Boris has forgotten more about snow than I'll ever know. Just the truth. And well, there's always what the Japanese scotch, hibike. You really want it to all go away, you get hibike in one hand and a bahike in the other. Let's just say you're in for a damn good evening if that's what you got. Sled Dog's nothing. He just tells his southerly neighbor, can he borrow Rudolph? Saddle up and ride. Northern Minnesota. I've been through a good chunk of Minnesota. Tell you what, I was really happy that I had a four-wheel drive Dodge Durango at the time. There was plenty of snow. True, Boris, you just hang out on your third floor balcony and tell the guys who are shoveling snow, you missed a spot. If it gets up to your third floor balcony, then, well, if you have to shovel at that point, it's only your balcony. But it's a good time to go hit the sauna, right, Boris? If you got snow up to the third floor, you hit the sauna. All right, Kentucky, you take care. Hopefully we will see you later on Robert's Live. That should be in about 30 minutes. And I guess what? He goes an hour and a half, 2 hours. Always a good time. Would love to see you there. I'm thinking Robert wouldn't mind either. And that's ENA's dad. It's right there. It's right there. See, I'm the same way, Robert. Pile on. Come on in. It's fine. I'm not sure swimming over snow is possible. I've seen people doing diving into snow, though. I like those videos where they dive into the snow and they literally just disappear. And you know, eventually they'll work their way out of that snow drift, but I don't think I could do it. Unlike extremely hot chocolate or superiorly spiced peanuts, and I do have my limits too. Oh, and in case y'all are all wondering what started me doing spicy foods on April 1st, that's because, well, I did it last year on April 1st. Seemed like everybody had a good time. Well, everybody but me. But everybody had a good time. And what started that was that I made fun of Martin for eating a spicy pea cracker and screaming like a little girl. I'm not sure how spicy that pea cracker was, but according to him, it had some heat. Well, Jim, if you're going to be in that much cold, you gotta have a sauna. Either that or you're watching those commercials, you know, liar, liar, pants on fire. Feels like a sauna in here. Not a problem, Robert. And y'all, please help me watch for when Robert goes live. Sometimes YouTube will let me know, sometimes it won't. Quite often, YouTube is horrible at letting me know. Oh, it already has a hot tub. Well, you're good. Just get some plastic wrap walls up around it. Say, that's as close as it's getting, babe. Probably won't work. But the heat will be in. But if you're going to be up there in Minnesota, you'll be able to go to the Chicago pipe shows. Boris, Finnish sports would probably be the death of me. I mean, let me see here. I could probably do some swamp football. Wife carrying, I might have to balk at that. No offense to Holly, I just don't have the back for it anymore. Boot throwing. I'd have to figure that one out. And snow swimming is just, no, not happening. Never tell a Viking queen no. Well, she asks, do you think that girl is prettier than me? Jim, you're supposed to tell your Viking queen no when she asks that question. And don't think about it first. Just come right out and say it. No, no, baby, hell no. Doesn't matter if she's the prettiest girl you ever saw in your life or not. It's just safer to say, no, not a chance. That's good advice right there. That's the difference between waking up and waking up to the sound of cast iron against your head. Mike, you're right. That would be a good one also. Who? I never noticed. Of course, you know, I'm the kind of crazy that would take their mother-in-law to Hooters on Mother's Day. Okay, I'll tell you the truth about that story. I've done it twice. My mother-in-law does like Hooters hot wings. And their buffalo shrimp plate. And their fried pickles. And on Mother's Day, Hooters is damn near dead. And mothers eat for free. And if Hooters is dead, those waitresses are steady trying to actually be waitresses instead of trying to be little flirts. So, if your wife or mother or mother-in-law actually does like hot wings, buffalo shrimp, and fried pickles, Hooters is a pretty good choice for Mother's Day. As long as they're okay with girls in skimpy little outfits. Quite honestly, Holly doesn't care because she knows I'm only there for the food and the sports anyways. Good answer, Jim. Good answer. Yeah. So that Holly knows. Jim's wife asked once before if he thought some woman was hot. He said yes. She said why? He said because I'm not into men. Mike, I'm telling you, I don't need the menu. I know what I'm going to get when I walk into Hooters. Beer, wings, sports. I care less. The little girls that are walking around, I know they're pretty, but they lack quite a bit up top to keep my interest for more than just a couple of seconds. Which is normally just as long as it takes for me to say, yeah, I will have another beer and probably some more wings. And Holly knows this about me, so she's like, whatever, it's Hooters, big deal. You can see more than that at a college campus. Well, Mike, I'm not saying that the girls at Hooters don't have anything. I'm just saying that they don't have enough. Really? I thought you went to Gillies for the mechanical bull. The original Gillies was only about 15 miles from right where I'm sitting right now. That's road distance, not direct line. Direct line, it's less than 10. Jose, I have been to Twin Peaks. Holly went with me. The trophy trout is fairly tasty. Did they have bread pudding?
I think so, but I didn't have it. They had that squash that was really good.
Yeah, so there's a squash and some shredded vegetables that are sautéed real nice. I can go to these places that are considered restaurants, and Holly doesn't mind because she knows that these girls are all a bit small for my tastes.
It has nothing to do with that. I could care less.
She also just said it has nothing to do with that. It's just that she could care less. Meaning, if they're desperate enough to throw it at me, she'll just laugh at them because...
No, it means I trust you.
Well, there is also that. I'm fairly trustworthy. Well, Steve, it's only wasted until you get to the point where you can tie the nipples behind your head. Then it's fun. And Holly's over here shaking her head and wondering how many times I'm going to have to be smacked crazy. By the way, everybody has said hi. And she said, but if I'm going to have a beer or two and a decent meal, as long as the food's good, I could care less. Quite literally, though, if I'm really, really wanting to just have wings and sports, I can go to Buffalo Wild Wings. But Buffalo Wild Wings, for me, is about 3 miles farther away than Hooters. And it used to be Holly and I could go to the Hooters right up the road. They would allow smoking indoors. So we would watch UFC, eat some food, drink some beer, and then we'd go home. And it was actually within $10 of what we would spend just to get one pay-per-view here at the house. And no food included with that. Just the pay-per-view. So it was like, why not go up to Hooters to watch the UFC events? Once they quit allowing smoking indoors, well, we stopped frequenting.
Well, and then there was COVID.
COVID didn't help that situation any. Yes, Jim. Tomorrow, I am definitely going after the hottest chocolate bar in the world challenge.
What was it that came up to?
That was a squirrel that just tried to jump up on the cat cage, and Tripod was all about it all of a sudden. And now that squirrel is like griping at my cat for defending his own little territory.
You tell him, Mike, you say that's...
We got a little playpen for the cat so that he can be outside
Show it to him.
while he's only got 3 actually working legs. Let's see if we can show it to you. So, Jim's saying, Holly, tell him not to do it.
Not to do what?
Not to do the world's hottest chocolate bar.
Whatever.
You heard her. She said, whatever. She sat right here and watched me do the Death Nuts challenge.
Only until I knew you weren't going to fall out, and then I went back in.
Yeah. Once she was like, okay, you're not going to die on me right here on the front doorstep. Then she was like, okay, I'm done.
Did you tell him, Mikey?
Yes, it will be my annual April Foolishness show. It is foolish. I know I probably shouldn't. But it sure was fun for y'all to watch. I know, because it was the most attended show I've ever done. I think there were 35-something people there. By the way, for those who are wondering about the hot coffee, I'm going to tell you all the secret about hot coffee. All the Scovilles in a pepper are carried in oils. It coats the tongue. It's what makes you feel like you're getting lit up. You take that hot coffee, you pour that in, it will lift the oils and wash them down. It has the effect of cooling, and coffee has oils, so the oils from the coffee will coat and will help alleviate some of that heat as it replaces the oils that are in there from the peppers. That stupid squirrel is trying to go back to that cage. I'm not using scotch. Alcohol is the wrong thing. Let's see. Can you see the little squirrel? I'm doing a really bad job at zooming in. His little tail's just flickering back and forth. He is trying like crazy to get into there with that cat. That cat will get him if he was allowed. I am not going to use scotch. Alcohol just intensifies the burn. Crazy, yes. Stupid, not so much. Goofy ass squirrel is still trying to get over there to that cage. Must have dropped his peanut or something.
Probably.
Steve, I will have some hot coffee on standby, and I will have a small bottle of milk just to make sure that I can get it under control. Once it gets too much, I'm done. I'm gonna try and get the whole thing though, because
Like she's getting ready to pounce at him.
somebody by the name of Higgins said something about if I do the whole chocolate bar, there's an Eczekian pipe in it. Now, I'm not expecting that to actually happen. Oh, it's 12 small little bitty pieces. I mean, the whole chocolate bar would fit in the palm of my hand. Easily. Well, Steve, that's where I have the advantage. I grew up around hot peppers. So my system deals with hot pepper and pepper extracts fairly damn well. Morris, I'm not going to freeze a roll of toilet paper.
Why would you freeze toilet paper?
So it's cooling as I wipe.
On your booty. I got it.
I'll be fine. The acids in your stomach are stronger than the Scovilles that will eventually work their way out. Jim, I already know that there is just no way that Holly is going to be on air live with me. Oh, Robert just went live. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for being here. It's been my pleasure having y'all over. Remember, tomorrow, 4 o'clock p.m. Central Time. You want to see me destroy my interior, that's when it's going to start happening. Though I'm going live at 3 o'clock. Okay. Please remember, take care of yourselves. Do the best you can with that. And then take care of each other. Of course, we always do real well with that here in the YTPC. As per always, remember, long lives, big bowls, and long ashes. Y'all take care. I will see you at Robert's here in just a minute. Night, Jim. If you're not going to Robert's, well, we'll miss you. Hopefully, we'll see y'all soon. Talk to you later. Bye for now.